Okay, so you're here listening because you want to get smarter with your money. Right. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, absolutely.
We all want to make our money go further and feel more in control.
Yeah, feel like you're in the driver's seat. Yeah.
Exactly. So today we're going deep on some practical tools that can actually help you do that.
Right.
Specifically, apps that can make a real difference in managing your finances and saving money without it feeling like a second job. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think everyone can relate to that feeling of like, where did all my money go this month?
Right?
Right?
Totally. It's like it vanishes into thin air sometimes.
Yeah. And so the idea is with these apps is to really bring that back into focus to give you a clear picture of, where your money's going and how you can optimize it.
Right. So we're not just going to be talking about, basic budgeting apps or anything like that. We're really diving into some pretty cool tools that kind of go above and beyond just tracking expenses.
Exactly. We're looking at ways to really be proactive with your money instead of reactive.
All right. So let's jump right in. And the first one I want to talk about is Rocket Money,
Okay.
which you might remember as Truebill.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
this app has been getting a lot of attention, and for a really good reason.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about Rocket Money is it targets a kind of a pain point that a lot of people have. And that is, we're all busy and it's so easy to sign up for these subscriptions, whether it's a streaming service or, a free trial of something.
Oh, yeah.
And then life gets in the way and you just completely forget about it and that money keeps coming out of your account.
Yeah, it's the classic free trial that turns into, oh, wait, I'm still paying for this.
Exactly.
And I feel like it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what Rocket Money does is it goes through your bank transactions and finds all of these recurring charges for you.
Right, so it's like that digital detective.
Yeah, exactly. It's doing the work that, frankly, none of us want to do to go through our bank statements and find all those little charges that are just kind of, adding up over time.
It's like spring cleaning for your bank account.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Get rid of all those cobwebs, those subscriptions you forgot about. And what's really cool is it doesn't just find them right.
Right. And this is where it gets interesting. It can actually negotiate some of your bills for you.
Yeah.
So imagine saving money without even having to make that dreaded phone call.
I mean, who wants to spend hours on hold with a cable company, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So I know there are stories out there about people saving like $20 a month on things like their phone bill just by letting Rocket Money handle the negotiations.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the question is, how successful are these negotiations really? Like, do they actually work? What kind of information would you need to provide to the app? And are there any risks in letting an app handle those conversations for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the reality is the success rates can vary. It depends on the provider and the specific situation.
Sure.
But the idea is you're giving them limited access to your account information so that they can communicate on your behalf. And, it's always important to review the terms and conditions, understand how they're using your data,
Of course.
make sure you're comfortable with that level of access.
Right.
But the potential savings there are significant. I mean, if you think about $20 a month, that's $240 a year
Right.
just from, letting the app kind of handle that for you.
So it's more than just a passive tracking tool.
Yeah.
It's really like taking an active role in lowering your monthly expenses.
Right. And that's the idea is to be proactive and actually save money.
Okay, so we've tackled those sneaky recurring subscriptions.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to saving money while we're spending.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is where Honey comes in.
Yeah.
It's now part of PayPal. And this is for anyone who's ever made an online purchase.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes later, they're like, oh, wait, was there a coupon code I could use?
Yeah.
Like that feeling of FOMO.
Totally. And I think that's a really common experience for online shoppers.
Right.
You're always wondering, is there a better deal out there?
Did I miss out?
Exactly. And so Honey really aims to kind of eliminate that feeling.
Right. So how does it work?
So it's a browser extension, basically, a little piece of software that you add to your web browser.
Okay.
And it just kind of sits there in the background. And then when you go to check out on a website,
Yeah.
it automatically searches for and applies coupon codes for you.
It's magic. Like it just appears.
Yeah, it feels like magic, but what it's really doing is tapping into this huge database of coupon codes.
Oh, wow.
So it's doing the work that would take you forever to do manually.
Right. Like you're not scouring the internet for codes. It's doing it all for you in the background.
Yeah, and it's compatible with tons of websites, like I know they mentioned Amazon, eBay, Sephora as just a few examples.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's
Let's
like having your own personal coupon hunter,
Yeah, exactly, like a little robot working for you in the background.
finding all the deals.
So you can just focus on shopping.
Right, and it's not just like $1 off here or there, right?
Right.
Like I've heard stories of people saving significant amounts of money with honey.
Yeah, I think there's an example we saw of someone saving over $50 on a single order,
Oh, wow, yeah.
which is pretty impressive for something that requires basically no effort on your part.
Right, you just install the extension and let it do its thing.
Exactly. And
Mm.
so it's a really fast and automatic way to save money on your online purchases.
Now, of course, there's always a trade-off with these things,
For
right?
sure.
Like convenience is great, but are there any privacy concerns with using honey?
Yeah, that's a valid concern. And I think anytime you're installing a browser extension,
Yeah,
it's important to be aware of what data it's collecting and how it's being used.
right.
And so Honey, like many similar services, does collect data about your browsing and purchasing activity.
Yeah.
And it's really important to review their privacy policy to understand, what they're doing with that information and make sure you're comfortable with it.
Right, so informed consent.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on, let's shift gears a little bit to something a bit more hands-on with budgeting.
Okay.
And this is YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. And this is not just about tracking your spending. It's really about taking control of your money and making a plan for every dollar.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
YNAMI is really for people who are serious about budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this core principle of assigning every dollar a specific purpose.
Right.
And they call it giving every dollar a job.
I love that.
Yeah. And the idea is that you're not just, seeing where your money went after the fact, but you're actually planning ahead of time. You're
Yeah.
saying, okay, this is where my money is going to go this month.
It's proactive versus reactive.
Exactly.
Right. And so you're aligning your spending with your actual financial goals.
Right. So thinking about, is this purchase really aligned with my goals for the future, or am I just spending impulsively?
Right. And that's a big difference.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, the results speak for themselves. Right?
Yeah. I think they claim that new users save an average of $600 in their first 2 months.
$600.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
That's significant.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how much money we're probably all leaking, without even realizing it.
Without being intentional about it.
Exactly.
Right. And so it integrates with your bank account so you can see exactly where your money is going.
Yeah, and that transparency is really key, to actually be effective with your budget.
All right. So moving on to something a little bit different. Let's talk about Fetch Rewards.
Okay.
This one is all about getting rewards for everyday purchases,
Mm.
which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love getting a little something back?
Right. Especially for things you're already buying anyway.
Exactly.
So tell me how Fetch Rewards works.
It's super simple. So you just do your normal grocery shopping, any kind of retail shopping.
Okay.
And then you take a picture of your receipt with your phone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you automatically earn points based on what you bought.
So easy.
Yeah, it's super user-friendly.
Okay. And then what do you do with those points?
So you can redeem them for gift cards to a variety of different retailers.
Oh, nice.
Like Amazon, Starbucks for a couple that they mentioned.
Oh, so it's like you're getting a little bonus for your regular spending.
Exactly. And it's really easy to use.
And it works with both like physical receipts and digital receipts, right?
Yeah. So whether you're shopping online or in person,
Okay.
you can still earn rewards.
That's super convenient.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, we've got Upside, formerly known as Get Upside.
Right.
And this one is particularly great for people who drive a lot.
Yeah. Especially with gas prices these days.
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain point for a lot of people. And so Upside focuses on giving you cash back on things like gas, groceries, and even restaurants.
Okay, so it's like hitting all the essentials.
Yeah, and I think the real benefit here is the direct cash back.
Right, so it's not points or anything like that. It's actual money back in your pocket.
Right, so they were talking about getting like 10 to 15 cents back per gallon of gas,
Oh, wow.
which, might not seem like a lot, but if you're filling up your tank every week,
Yeah.
that really adds up over time.
And it's pretty easy to use too, right?
Yeah, you just open the app, check for offers near you,
Right.
claim the ones that you want, and then you can either upload your receipt after you make your purchase, or in some cases, you can actually pay directly through the app,
Oh, wow.
which is even more seamless.
So you're not messing around with coupon codes or anything like that.
Right, it's all built into the app.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about another cashback app, and this one is Dosh.
Okay.
And this one is all about automatic cashback, so even less effort on your part.
Yeah, this one's really interesting because you link your credit or debit cards to the app,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just automatically gives you cash back whenever you shop at participating retailers.
So it's like passively saving money,
Yeah, exactly. I don't really have to think about it.
right? Just happening in the background.
And we saw an example of someone getting $12 back just for booking a hotel they were already planning to stay at.
Just like that.
Yeah, just because they used their linked card.
So you're getting rewarded for your normal spending.
Exactly.
And another cool thing is you can often double dip with Dosh,
Oh, right. Yeah.
meaning you can stack the cash back on top of any other rewards programs you might have.
Like with your credit card or something.
Right. So you're basically layering savings on top of savings.
Exactly.
Very nice. Okay, and finally, let's wrap up with a good budget.
Right.
And this one takes a more old school approach to budgeting and brings it into the digital age.
Right. So it's based on the envelope system,
Mm-hmm.
which, traditionally involves putting cash into separate envelopes for different spending categories,
Yeah.
like rent, groceries, entertainment.
Right, so you have a visual representation of how much money you have left for each category.
Exactly. And so Good Budget basically digitizes that whole process.
Okay.
So you create these virtual envelopes within the app and you allocate your money accordingly.
So it's like a digital version of the cash envelopes.
Yeah. And it's a really great way to stay accountable and track your spending in real time.
Right, because you can see exactly how much money you have left in each category.
And it's really helpful for couples or families
Oh, yeah.
because you can share budgets across multiple devices,
Right.
so everyone's on the same page.
And it's easy to use, right?
Yeah, the interface is really simple and clean.
Which is always a plus.
Absolutely.
So as you can see, there's a wide variety of apps out there to help you save money and take control of your finances.
Yeah, and we've really just scratched the surface here.
Right.
But hopefully this gives you a good starting point.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone from, automatically canceling subscriptions to getting cash back to really actively budgeting,
Yeah. And the key takeaway is that these apps are designed to empower you
right? To give you more control over your money.
to make progress towards your financial goal.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think the question for you listening is, which of these approaches or apps really resonates with you the most,
Yeah. What are your biggest financial pain points?
right? And what's one small change you can make today based on what you've learned?
Yeah, even if it's just, trying out one of these apps.
Right. Or just being more mindful of your spending.
Exactly.
Right.
The important thing is to take action.
And, even if it's just starting with one small step.
It can make a big difference over time.
So we encourage you to explore some of these apps further and see how they can fit into your life.
And remember, your financial journey is unique to you.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. Find what works for you.
Exactly. And we hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights and tools to help you along the way.
Absolutely. Thanks for listening, everyone, and happy saving.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.